So this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while now for two reasons. One, because I just kind of wanted to help myself feel more comfortable talking about it, and two, because I want to share what I've learned from being in my situation and just kind of make people more aware of the issue. It's something you don't really hear about every day, so I was hoping that this would kind of make the world more aware. So here I go. My mom is homeless, and she's been homeless for 9 months now. She is paranoid schizophrenic, so she's mentally ill, which is kind of why she's homeless. It's really difficult having a homeless mom because, you know, I wake up in the morning thinking, like, is she okay? Is she cold? Is she, you know, has she eaten today? You know, does she have enough money to get from A to B? She does live in her car, so that's good. You know, at least she has some kind of, you know, security, some kind of safe haven. It's not just like she's out on the street, but she is homeless. She doesn't stand outside with a sign. She doesn't, you know, panhandle. She goes to the blood bank and donates plasma, but because she's been living in her car, her health has been declining and she hasn't been able to donate as much, so it's been more difficult for her to get money. Because she's schizophrenic, she doesn't realize that she has a problem. You know, she just thinks that people are out to get her. She just thinks all this stuff that's going on in her head is real life. She thinks that, you know, there's cameras watching her. She thinks that the radio talks to her. She thinks that if she's out in public that people, like, you know, if somebody like scratches her head or something, she thinks that they're like motioning to her and that they're trying to tell her something. So it makes my situation with her living in her car a lot harder. It makes it harder for me to kind of get in her head and talk to her and try to tell her that what's going on isn't normal, just because she thinks that it's other people's fault that she lives in her car. So it is a struggle on a day-to-day basis. I live in Knoxville. I'm away for college, so it's especially worrying to me because I'm not there. You know, even if I'm there, it's really difficult, but at least I'm there. You know, I can pick her up where she is and I can take her out to eat, or, you know, I can spend time with her and make sure she's not getting lonely, you know, at least be there with her. But when I'm away at college, it's something that does affect me a lot. It's something that causes me a lot of anxiety, just because, you know, like I said, I don't know if she's okay. So it's been a real struggle. It is really difficult also, like when I meet new people, like if I'm meeting my boyfriend's family, you know, the question usually comes up like, you know, what do your parents do for a living? Where do they live? And that's something that is really hard for me to answer. I really hate that question. I also really hate when people ask, how's your mom doing? Just because, you know, like she's living in her car, like how do you think she's doing? But yeah, that's really difficult. You know, she wakes up in the morning and she does try to take care of herself. That is one really good thing about her, is she tries. You know, she goes to the park every morning. She brushes her teeth, she washes her face, she does her makeup. You know, she really doesn't look homeless. Recently though, this is really terrible, but recently though, she has started really to smell really bad because, you know, she can't shower properly. So that is one thing that really broke my heart, is because I'm actually seeing, you know, changes to her health and just herself overall. It's not healthy for her to live in her car. It's making her illness a lot worse than it already was. And that's something I'll have to make a whole nother video about growing up with her being schizophrenic, because I have seen so many different things. It has been a whirlwind of stuff. Like, it's always something new every day. Like, I've seen so much, I've been through so much, you know, because of her illness, and now I'm to the point where she's homeless. So that is something that I'm trying to learn to accept. And, you know, I go and see counselors about it. I try to talk to my teachers about it, because there's some mornings where I just feel kind of sad or overwhelmed and filled with anxiety. So, but usually people are really, like, accepting about it. Like my friends, they're really accepting about it. They're people I can talk to, like my boyfriend, I can talk to him. But I don't really think anybody knows exactly how hard it is and how difficult it is for me to kind of, be okay with it, because it's not okay. It's my mom. I've grown up with her my whole life. It's always been just her and me. One thing I have learned from her situation is, you can't judge somebody. You can't judge a book by its cover. I know you hear that all the time. I know it's something that is like, okay, we get it, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not, really significant. But it is really significant, because, I go out and see a homeless person now, and I think completely different about them. I sit there and think, like, wow, they have a whole story behind them. You never know what their story is. You never know what they've been through. They're not always on drugs. They're not always just lazy. You never know. I mean, there are some of them out there that are, but there are people out there like my mom. She has a whole story behind her. She's mentally ill, but she is the sweetest person in the world. She is looked at by her neighbors as like some scary person. She parks her car in front of the house she got evicted from, so people around there like call the cops on her a lot, are kind of scared of her, but they don't really know who she is, and that breaks my heart, because I know who she is. I know she is this great woman. She's so beautiful, and to see people sit there and judge her like that really hurts me, because it's my mom, and I know she is so much better than what people think she is. And so that's one thing I've really learned, is just like not to judge people, because you never know what they've been through. So I don't really know what else to say about it, but I'm hoping that this maybe has spread some kind of awareness. I hope people look differently at the situation about, homeless people, because like I said, you don't know their story. And it has been difficult. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't judge people. Don't sit there and think that all homeless people are bums, because they're not. Everybody has a story behind them. Everybody has been through something. Everybody is going through something. So don't judge people. Wave, be nice, say hi, don't be mean. And things in life happen that are difficult, and you just kind of have to know that everything's going to be okay, and that the man above has us all taken care of. But yeah.